All right, arms up overhead, shoulder blades back. No band for this. Deep breath in, reach up, and bring the arms down. Go ahead, grab your band. Let's just get right into it. Let's do the band. So the whole time you're going to be using the band, we're going to be keeping our hands out, pulled out just a little ways. I should probably start this out officially. Welcome, everyone. Ageless Balance. This is Ron. This is our band. This is what we're going to be using. Hands out straight. Bring the arms up overhead, keeping just light pressure to the outside of that band with the backs of the hands. Super light. Just bring it up. Hold it there for a couple seconds, and then bring it back down again. Bring the legs apart so you can bring the arms down right between. You're out at the edge of the chair. Shoulder blades are back. And reach up. A little higher this time. Start bringing those shoulder blades back. Nice straight line all the way down from the back of the head to the tailbone. Not leaning forward. And back down. One more time, bring it up. Deep breath in as you do. And exhale, bringing it back down again. We're going to take hand out front. One of my favorites. Putting it right between the little webbing there between the thumb and the forefinger. Taking that other hand, wrapping it, the fingers inside of the band. And just pull back lightly. Elbow right straight out. Shoulders back. And let it go. Again, just bring that elbow out to the side. As you do this, stretch it out. And back again, go around to the other side. Same thing. Putting that band in between the thumb and forefinger. Just a little pinch. And bring that elbow back. Rolling that shoulder blade back. You want to feel the muscles working through the shoulders. Upper shoulder. And one more time. Bring it back. Squeeze. We'll get into this a little more a little later, but for right now, that's going to be it for that. And take the band right here. It's going to start pulling out to the sides. So just a little movement. You got the band on the outside of the hands against the inside of the band. Rolling the shoulders back just a little bit. Little pressure, just a little bit of pressure on that band. Start to widen it out. You're going to feel the stretch on the working. Oh, you're going to feel it working in the muscles on the outside of the shoulders. That's what I was trying to say with absolutely no luck whatsoever. And back. Out just a little bit, feeling the shoulders warm up. You don't have to go very hard. You don't have to go very far with it. Depending on the band that you've got. Feet apart, arms right straight down. We're going to go into a hip hinge. So just coming down the middle, arms out in front, roll the shoulders out, straight line through the back, tailbone all the way out to the fingers, bring it back down. And now bring the elbows up on the outside. So you bring it right straight up, the middle, elbows back, squeeze the shoulder blades together, relax, and drop it back down again. Up front, overhead. Get those shoulders way up there and back down. And then elbows up, rolling the shoulder blades back as you do. And back down. And take the band. This time, instead of just pulling the hands out to the side, we're going to bring the band in, rolling the shoulder blades back, and then bringing the band apart. So separating the hands as you get closer to the chest, and then going back forward again. So it's hands start to come apart, elbows go back. As you do, shoulder blades go back. Squeeze those shoulder blades together behind you. Hold it. And back. Left palm up, right palm down. Just going to take elbows right into the torso for right now. Take the elbow on that bottom hand and just push down and back up again. Don't go hard with it. Just feel those muscles starting to tighten up. Work a little bit in the upper arm, back of it. Getting those triceps muscles down. Keep the elbow pointed toward the floor as you do this. Squeeze it. And up. Shoulder blades back. Stay in neutral. Don't lose that. Don't ever lose that. Other side, same thing. Now, right palm up, left palm down. Same exact movement. Straight down with that left hand. And back up again. Small movements. These are small movements. And back up. Push it down. All we're trying to do is warm those muscles up right now, get the joints working. We're going to put a little more load on them later, but for right now, it's just getting muscles warmed up, joints flexible, out and in one more time. And bring it back. Again, arms up overhead, palms out, shoulder blades back. You take, left hand is going to stay right up above the head. Right hand's going to push down just a little bit on the side and back up again. So just this light push. What you're going to feel is this straight arm right over your head, that left arm, doing all the work to maintain that band, keeping the arm right above the head. If you let it go, it's going to go with it. Don't let it right now. We'll get there. And back up. Just this little bit of a pressure on it. And then to the other side, same thing. So you're bringing that arm out in a downward motion, a downward swing, down and back one more time. Push it down lightly, bring it back in again, and down. Into a rotation with the hands out front, rolling just the shoulders to start out with. The whole time you do this, keep that little pressure. Keep a small amount of pressure on the outside of the band as you do this, so that you can feel the outside, the muscles on the outside of the shoulders working outside of the arm. Right now, just roll those shoulders around, keeping the hands, a little bit of tension on the band so you keep the shoulders in a straight line. And bring it back to center. Other side, make sure the knees, toes, everything are pointed right out in front of you. You don't want to let yourself turn. Knees don't want to collapse. They want to collapse. You don't want them to. And bring them back. This time we're going to get the torso involved. Arms around. Follow that band around with the nose. Come around to the side. Feel the stretch of the upper back. Deep breath. Come around to the other side. Bring it on around. Roll it over. And bring it back to center again. Right there. Drop the arms down. We're going to do curls. Curls, he says. Curls. Left hand on the right knee. Take that right hand and just small up and back down again. So we're not going for a big movement here. We just want to feel these muscles working in the front of the upper arm. Those biceps muscles lift that lower arm up toward the shoulder and back down. So I was leaning into it. Make sure you don't do that. I'm showing you what not to do. Don't do this. Up and back down. Elbow, keep it right in by the side of the body. Up and back down. We'll get a little more adventurous with this, but for right now, switch hands. Right hand on top of that left thigh. Left palm up in the air and up and back down. So when we get to the bigger bands, we'll be able to do a little more range of motion through these. For right now, just get the muscles warmed up. Squeeze and back down. Exhale as you come up, keeping the shoulder blades back as you do this. So it's real easy when you've got that hand down across body to let the torso go with it, to twist the shoulder. You want the shoulder blades back. So right straight up, right straight back down. Remember, every muscle that's holding you in place is contracted, which means it's working. Every muscle in your body is working right now. Up and back down. Take the band, a little bit of just the band. Grab a piece of it in the hands, put it right up here by the chest, elbows right straight out. All we're going to do is take and squeeze the shoulder blades together and back down. Again, it's a really small move. All you want to feel are those shoulder blades in the upper back. Squeeze together, pull them back, and then release slowly, bringing the fingers together again. In tight, shoulder blades back as much as you can get them. This is adding just a little bit of pressure. You can take the hands, get the fingers right next to each other, and bring them back and forward again. A couple more times. Back and up. Last one. Bring it back and forward again. Put it. Let's go around the legs, around the ankles. Do a couple more here. We'll take a break. Starting out nice and easy. Feet forward, knees forward. Find your neutral position before you start. Like that. Want that straight line, shoulders, ears, and hips all in alignment. Starting out, just step out with one foot. little bit out to the side. Toe stays forward and bring it back. What you want to be careful of on this one is band will try to pull the foot in and just the knee goes out. You want to work on strengthening these muscles up around the knee, lifting the leg, step out, back in, controlling it both ways, up and out. You feel it in the outside of the hip. As you're pulling that leg out, you should also feel it along the outside of the hip. By keeping the foot out, instead of letting the band pull it in, when you make that rotation out, you're going to feel all the muscles up the side start to do the work that they should be doing. These are the kind of things that keep you in alignment as you walk, keep your joints in place, strengthen up the muscles around the joints, up, out slowly, back in again. One more time each side, out, and in, out, and back in. I'm feeling that. Outsides of the hips. All right, feet apart. What you want to be able to do on this one is you're going to take the heels and roll them out. So you're going to go to the outside. You want to have as much room as you need so that when you roll the heels out, you can feel the muscles working on the outside of the leg, on the edge and back of the leg. So you want to have enough tension that when you go out with those knees or out with those heels, you can feel it in the back of the leg and in the sides through the ankle and then bring them back in. As far as you want to get them in, the more you bring them in, the more work it is bringing them back out to the outside again. So you want to work it in, hold it, and back out. Taking your time with these. Don't let the band pull the ankles in. You want to fight that tension that the band's creating, slowly coming in. And out one more time. And back in. Walk the feet in. I'm going to put the band underneath the balls of the feet. So when we had the band up around the ankles, we did that step out, and the band liked to pull the legs in. Now we're going to do the same thing stepping out. Now you really have to work because now the band's going to want to pull that toe in. So you're going to keep the toes forward, pick it up, out to the side, up, and back down. It's a completely different exercise just by moving it down that little bit because now we have the pressure at a different point. The ankle gets much more involved here. Ankle is working to keep that leg out or keep that foot forward and back in. Ankles have a tendency to get a little weak as we get older. A lot of people turn an ankle, break an ankle as you get older. They break so much easier. You want to make sure that those muscles around that joint are just as strong as can be. Up and out, and in, out, and back in. All right. Same thing we did with the heels, this time with the toes. Out, and back in. Keep the knees right over the ankles the whole time. So the toes roll out, and toes roll in. What you don't want is the legs to start to separate at the same time. Knees flare out to the outside, getting all sorts of muscles involved. You just want these muscles in the lower part of the leg to do most of the work here. Out. We're trying to strengthen up. Ankles into the shins. Toes in. So I didn't have much tension on there, so I'm getting the heels out just a little bit more. Out. And in. Do two more. Out. Hold. Bring it back one more time. Up. Out. Feet down. Bring it up. Nice and slow. This is the fun part right here. If you go super slow, you really feel it start to burn on the outside of the feet, on the outside top of the foot, going up the edge of the ankle and to the outside of the leg, which lets you know that those are weak muscles and they need to be strengthened. Grab a drink of water and your other band. We're going to go back to the upper body. Tell you what, let's do standing. Let's do standing with this so we can put the band underneath the feet. And anytime you stand up doing an exercise, it's always for the best because you always have to work your core. If you're seated in the chair does the work. And that doesn't do you any good. You don't want the chair to get all buff. You want to get all buff. That is for you. We're going to start out, band right there under the feet. All sorts of things we can do right here with this. So we're going to make sure shoulder blades are back, chest is out, neutral position. Don't let the band, as we're going, the band's going to want to pull you down because you've got that tension, bringing the shoulders down. You're fighting it the whole time. You're keeping those shoulder blades back, staying in neutral. That's a big part of the exercise with the bands. We're going to start out with curls. Just curls. That's it. Up and back down. A couple things you can do with the band. If your band is not long enough to be able to do curls this way, you can do one leg at a time and pull it up. Wrap the band around the hand. So you don't have to grip tight on that band. You just have to wrap it around. It'll kind of hold itself. And then you can do one arm at a time and then switch over to the other side. Whichever works. Or you can just sit down and do it. Makes it shorter, makes you shorter so that you're closer to the band. Otherwise, it's up and back down. Again, don't let the elbows go back. You want that lever length out in front and back down again. Palms up if you want. If you're going to put palms up, don't let the band pull the wrists down. Puts a lot of strain on the wrist. You want those palms facing in really is the best way on this one. Keeping that straight line. It's much easier to maintain your wrist posture. Keeping it planted right where it is all the way through this move without it flopping around. You don't want no floppy wrists. Back down. You should be feeling this in the front of the upper arms. Getting those biceps muscles to do that curl. Keep your core tight while you're doing it. Shoulder blades back. And down. Out to the sides. We're going to take the hands and bring them up. A little bit of a bend in the elbow. Shoulders blades back. And back down. Up. And back. Don't have to come up very high with this. Again, if you're having problems with the shoulders and you can't get it up, the arm does not have to come up very high with this one. You're going to feel that tension. The band is always putting tension on. You may come up 3 inches, that you can feel this muscle working on the outside of the shoulder. That's what you want. That's what we're looking for. It's that deltoid on the outside of the shoulder to do the work, to lift that entire arm up and back down. Be careful on this one. Don't bring the shoulders up. We're not working those muscles on the top of the shoulders. Working the ones on the outsides. On the outsides. Up. Squeeze those shoulder blades behind as you do that. Really make sure, be conscious that you've got that chest out and those shoulder blades are as tight as you can get them. Working those rhomboids and trapezoids between the shoulder blades. Up. And back down. We're going to do this a couple more times. There's one. And down. Now we should do it a second time so that I said we were. There we go. We got it. And back down. Forward. Same thing. 3 muscles around the shoulders. Front, side, and back deltoids. One we just did was for the side. Now we're going to work the front. Little bend in the elbow. That muscle at the very top of the arm shortens, lifting the entire arm up. And back down again. Core's tight. Shoulder blades are back. This one, really easy to get into that lean because that band is pulling you down the entire time. You have to work hard with this. And this may be too much. If it is, go ahead and sit down and do these. This is just working the core a whole lot harder, especially, and those muscles in the upper back between the shoulder blades, those posture muscles, have to work really hard to keep you upright so you don't go bending over after the band. Up. And back down. 3 more. There's one. That means we have 2 more. There. Last one. Bring it up. Hold. Got it? And down slowly. Like that. So that was 2 of the 3. Let's get the third one. Let's do it. Let's get it. A little bend in the elbows. We're going to raise the arms behind us. Up. And back down. Only thing hinging here is the elbow, is the shoulder, not the elbow. Exactly the opposite of what I said. Only the shoulder. Up. And back down. So you get that little bend in the elbow. If you want, you can push the butt out just a little bit. If that's more comfortable for you. Just make sure if you do, you're going into that bent over position, that hip hinge, that you're keeping the back straight. Shoulder blades are back. You don't want to put any strain on the lower part of the back as you're doing this. Up. Squeeze the shoulder blades together as you lift that up too, working again those muscles right at the base of the neck, upper half of the shoulder blade. Those posture muscles are involved in this. Once you get the arms up, squeeze the shoulder blades together, then you can relax and come back down one more time. Up and back down. All right. Front of the arm, shoulders. Now, the back of the arm, we're going to do triceps kickbacks. So going into that bent over position here. This time you are hinging at the elbow. This is what I was talking about earlier. And back. It really wasn't. I was just wrong. This is what I meant to talk about right here. Right now, we're talking about triceps, pulling that lower arm up and then back down again. Shoulder blades are back, chest is out. Up and back. Don't lock the elbows out. As you bring the arms back, don't lock that elbow. You want to have just a little bit of bend in the elbow yet, making the muscles do the work around the joint. Because if you make the joint do the work, it'll hurt. You usually end up with a little bit of a stress in there, a little bit of a strain going into that joint if you do lock it out. One more time. Down and up. Off the band. Upper body is getting a good workout here. Band around the back. I love bands. I love bands. They're so good for you. Around the back we go. Right up on top, underneath the arms there. Wrap the band around the hands. We're going to go with a chest press. So it's out, rolling the shoulders out and coming back in. Most important piece on this. Shoulder blades are back when you start. Arms go out. Rotate the palms as you're coming out. Elbows are down at about a 45-degree angle. And then pushing from there. Out, hands out, fist pointed away from you, and then back in again. And the last piece of this is when you get the arms out, they're not locked out. You got a little bend in that elbow. Roll the shoulders out just a little bit and then bring them back in. When we do this big move here, that's using the muscles in the middle of the chest right here. When you do that little shoulder roll at the top, you're getting the pec minors on the outside, which we miss a lot. This makes sure that we get those, keeping those strong as well. We want all the muscles balanced. So out, roll the shoulders, in, and back. Again, arms out, rotate, fists right away from you, out and back. So one thing you want to be careful of is not letting the palms come all the way back. It's hard on the wrists. So if you do this just like this, what you're doing is a push-up. It is no different than if you were on the floor doing a plank push-up, at least for the chest. One more time, out, push, and back in again. Shoulder press, forward. So you don't want it coming off you completely. So it's up at a diagonal and bring it back down again. You can alternate. Don't do both sides at once. The band will just come right over the top of you. Out and back. Push it up. Bring it back. Now we're starting to get in those trapezoids a little more on the top of the shoulders. Up and back down. Again, it's the same as when you did the push up here. It's just at an incline. So you're up, roll it, and bring it back down again. Same thing. You're just getting the shoulder here and the top of the shoulders, which we hadn't gotten yet. Up and back. You can cross body a little bit. That's going to work these muscles in the chest again. We're going to go back to those, up and over, and bring it back. Don't let the torso twist. Don't turn with the bands as you do this. Make sure it's just the arm going across and coming back. Up and over and back down. One more time each side. One there and down. One there and down. A couple more for the upper body, then we'll take a break and go to the lower body. Band's going to go over the head on this one. Shoulder blades back, little bend in the elbows. Bring the arms up wherever's comfortable for you. If up here, right there is too much for the shoulders, let it come down a little bit. Doesn't have to be way over the top. A couple things we're going to do. First one, you move back, get in camera here. We're going to just take one arm at a time, bring it down the side, and bring it back up again. Other side, slowly. As you bring it down, what you're concentrating on is the shoulder blade. Feel it. Close your eyes. Feel this muscle working right in the upper back. That lat is pulling that shoulder down and back up again. So you're not pulling with the arm. All the work is happening in the upper back. Those muscles are contracting. Top of the back, down, squeeze it, and bring it back up. And again, I want to just really stress, there's this lat muscle that runs along the side, like the cobra muscles that you have there. It's just right inside of that muscle as you pull it down and bring it back. If you can do both arms at the same time and bring it back up. If that works for you, bring it back. I like using one at a time. I can get a little more range of motion through it. And then going back to the other side, down, squeeze, and up. One more time each side, bring it down and pull it back up. Last one, squeeze and release. Arms out front. We're going to get to go a little wider here. We talked about at the beginning when we did those little movements, bringing the shoulder blades together. I said, don't worry, it'll get better. This is it. It's getting better now. You ready? We're going to take the arms out to the side, roll the shoulder blades back nice and wide, and back. Elbows stay bent, but they don't hinge. All you're doing is bringing those shoulder blades together, squeeze them, and back. Keep the band just below the middle of the chest, right about the center of the torso, a little above that as you do that. You'll notice that if you're up here, you're going to squeeze the shoulder blades. If you've got it up by the top of the chest, you'll feel it at the top. We already got those. We want to get those muscles on the lower half of the shoulder blade. So keep those arms down just a little bit, squeeze it together, and back. There's a lot of muscle around the shoulder blades. We need to make sure that we get all of it. That's a lot of sheathing there from the top to the middle of the back. So to get them, we have to hit the muscles a little differently with each one. Make sure we get that whole range of muscle. Back, squeeze it, and up. We want to do that one more time. We do. Back, and forward again. All right, upper body has been worked. Put the band down, grab a drink of water. We're going to go to the lower body. You can keep standing. Actually, we're going to do a little bit with core here too. So not just lower body. Everything we got pretty much up. You should feel the muscles have worked all the way from the middle of the back, all the way up to the base of the neck. Because we work those shoulder blades with different exercises, squeezing them together in different ways. Every one of those worked to get a different part of it. We also got the shoulder, front, side, and back, chest, outer edge, all the way to the middle. So we got everything, rib cage up. Now we got to do a little more. Band underneath the feet again. And the shoulder blades are back. And the chest is out. Like that we are. Like you're at attention. Like that. Starting out, first thing we're going to do is hands up and do a rotation through, both bands, one hand. Let's do it that way. Hold on. And then we're going to come around and squeeze. So you're going to take these muscles on the outside or on the inside where you're contracting to make that rotation, turning the shoulders. Really important here, don't let the hips rotate with you. It's got to be just the shoulders coming around and then back. Again, around, squeeze in here, tight, and back. So as these muscles contract, as they get smaller, they bring you around. And then when you get out to the side, that's when you take one last good squeeze in there and get those shoulders just a little bit deeper. And then bring it back again, staying on the one side. Any tweaking in the lower back, stop immediately. What you're probably doing is leaning the shoulders forward or bending somehow, bringing the hips around. You need to be really careful with this that you get set. Everything from the feet all the way to the top of the hips cannot move. Only above that. And back down one more time. Bring it up. And back. We are going to do that same thing on the other side. We are. Find your neutral. Make sure your back of your head to the tailbone, straight line. You want that spine to be straight so that you can rotate. If you try bending and rotating, that's when it goes right to the lower back or the middle of the back. Some part of your back will pay for that. Don't let the hips turn and bring it back. Again, it's a small move. It's a really small move, but it's a good move. It really is. You come, it's a good move. Bring it around, squeeze it back there. You should feel this all the way up here, coming from right back edge, coming right up through to the stomach. A couple more times. Around, squeeze, and back. One more. Obliques. I say this all the time. Obliques are easy to cheat, to do these exercises and not hit those muscles the way we need to. All these muscles have to be strong through here. If you want to be able to turn, those muscles have to be able to contract. All right. Bands in the hands. Same thing. Same kind of muscles. This time we're going to get the muscles working in a little different angle by pulling us right straight down instead of that rotation. So it's down. It is pulling us down, so that means the other side, it's raising that shoulder up and back down. Okay, so one of the worst things I did there. As you come down, head stays up. It doesn't go down. We don't lead with the head and come down. I do, unfortunately. It's not right. It's to the side. Head stays up and back down. So what you're trying to do is keep the spine in a straight line. That's the key here. Up. Problem is I'm not feeling it in the sides because I need to get a little more band, a little tighter. So, and again, that's just you being aware when you do these exercises of what's going on with your body. Up. So you're coming down. These muscles are pulling. Don't let the band do the work. Using these muscles to pull that other side up. Squeeze and back up. And back. Careful of the lower back on this. If you're leaning forward at all when you're doing these, one, you're not working the muscles. You're not even going to feel it. You've got to be up, straight line, spine in neutral. We're getting a stretch through those ribs on the one side and then back and then the other side. But it's only those legs being, or the back being straight that you're going to get the work done and you're not going to get hurt. All right. Underneath one foot. Just one. Going to go into the stagger step that I love so much. 1 foot forward, 1 foot back, knee over the ankle on the front leg. Wrap the hands around the band. Here's what we're going to do. Push up, lifting with that back leg, creating resistance through the band. So you're not pushing through the front leg. It is the back leg. Roll the hip. Hip comes underneath and then rolls right straight up. It's an arc down. It's like a J. The hip comes forward and then up, coming off the balls of the feet and back down. I'm not feeling a whole lot of pressure, so I'm going to take a little more band here. Up and back down. And there are so many different strengths of bands that you can use. Next time you go to your PT, ask for, I need one that's a little harder, a little tighter, so I can use it to exercise. Down and roll. They'll never say no. To the other side. Every time when I go, they're like, you need a band? Nope. We'll give you one anyway. All right. I try not to. Try to save them some money. All right. Right down the middle. Roll the hip. Bring it up. Down. And squeeze. Glutes. This is all about this back chain. Hamstrings and glutes. You get down here. Knee on that back leg is following the toe. Roll the hips and lift through the ball of the foot. Heel comes up. Squeeze the muscles in the back chain. As that heel's coming up, you want to tighten those glutes, hamstrings. As they get shorter, they help pull you up. Squeeze and bring it up. Couple more times. Down. Roll. This hits some really big muscles. In this exercise, we get those glutes, which are big uns. All right, go ahead and sit down. We're going to get on our chair. Work the quadriceps a little bit more. So we're going to take, first thing, band around one foot, leg up. If you want to go on the back of your chair to do this one, perfect. That's fine. Protect your back on this one. What we're going to do is bring that leg in as far as we can. But to get it in farther, it's really easy if you just lean forward. It's not what you want. It just has to come in as far as it can while you're staying in that neutral position. This is going to work the back chain of the upper body a little bit more. But if you can't hold the shoulder blades back and the back straight, use the back of your chair. We're going to extend at the knee, and bring it back in again. Out. Don't lock the knee out. Again, what I see so often is this all the way out and just kind of bouncing in and out. Slow out. You want to feel this in the front of the thigh and back in, a lot in the front of the thigh. This is a really good exercise with the bands because so much is happening here to hold that leg up as you're doing this. And this is where it's good if you can do this without using the back of the chair. But again, if you can't, if you just, your whole body wants to go forward when you do this, get yourself up against the back of the chair and use it to brace you. Out. And back up. Primary muscles we're looking for are those quadriceps on the front of the thigh. It's starting to cramp up on me. Like the muscle we're trying to use is this one that hurts right now. Shoulder blades back. You're ready to do the other side. Out. And back in. Yeah. Nice thing about the bands here is you can really get those shoulder blades back. What you got to be careful of is don't let yourself go forward as the foot goes out because it feels like the leg is going farther. It's not. You're just leaning forward to help it. And in. Out. Again, not all the way out. Hold and then back in. Get as tight as you can. Reset your back. Get those shoulder blades back one more time and then bring it up. Bring it in. Reset. Out. And in one more time. Extend. And back. Felt that. All right. Band around just the toe. Ball of the foot. So with this one, here we go. Let's wrap it around the foot once. Here's what I recommend. I'm not there, so I can't make you do this. I recommend going around the ball of the foot. When I do classes in person, I had somebody, they didn't wrap and it came up and hit them. Not a good thing. So if I do classes, I wouldn't let anybody do it until they had it wrapped completely. I can't do that with you because I'm not there. So do what you need to do, but I really recommend this. Out and back. So we're going to take the foot, extend, knee's got a little bit of a bend in it, and then back nice and slow. Oh, shoulder blades back. Keep your neutral position. Extend the toe, and then back in nice and slow. Calf muscles doing the work. Pulling that heel up, which extends the toe out, and back. And then slow back in again. Using these muscles in the front around the shin to pull that toe back in. And this is the great thing about doing this is that you are actually forcing that nice and slow, using those muscles in the front of the leg as much as you're using them in the back of the leg. Up and in, out and back. Other foot. So we're working not only the calf, not only the shins, ankles are taking a real good working out here too. It's fantastic. Out and back. Keep that foot straight. Out and back in. If you can, bring that heel up off the floor, just so it's not touching. Out and back. You're going to work that hip flexor a little more as you do that. You're going to feel the quadriceps working a little more. So we're able to engage a couple more muscle groups. But if that doesn't work for you, if your leg gets tired or you're bending forward, get the foot back on the floor. Back. Feel the muscles stretch, calf muscles stretch when you bring the toe in and out. Feel them contract. Nice and slow, back in and out again, and relax. Oh, there are so many more exercises we can do. We are so out of time. All right, let's finish by stretching. Arms up overhead with the band, of course. First thing, just bring the arms back, roll the shoulder blades back, open up the chest. So you can get the arms up wherever that is. It's this last little movement of rolling the shoulder blades back, squeezing them together that really opens up the chest, hyperextends the back, gives you a great stretch through the front chain, and then you can relax and release it back down again. Back up on top, we're going to get the shoulders a little bit. So just take that arm, bring it down, and then follow it to the side. Coming back up, no real tension here, just a little bit, but you're letting that top hand or that lead hand help bring you over just a little bit. Getting just a little more stretch. Keep the arm up, don't let it come down. Keep it pointed at a diagonal. Stretch through the rib cage, through the lats and the upper back, shoulder blades, and then use that top hand to help bring you back up again. We're going to go down in front and laying on top of the thighs, just let the band come down. Keep the chin up. Stretches through the back, all the way from the neck, all the way down to the hips. Bring it in. Roll the shoulder blades back, come on up, and put the band down. I want to get a rotation in here because we did work the upper back a lot. So let's stretch those shoulder blades out. Hand on the outside of the thigh, roll the shoulder blades back. Looking right out in front of you, you are. And backhand does the work to pull you around. When you're in here, roll the shoulder blades back one more time. And back to the middle. I have never done this exercise where I start out, shoulder blades are back, the chest is out. I've got some good movement backwards, and I make this rotation that I can't, at this point, do it one more time and get just a little more stretch. Get those shoulders back just another inch, and it makes a huge difference. The spine just loosens up just a little bit more when I do that. Feels so good. All right, let's finish up. Hands underneath. Deep breath in through the nose as you come up overhead. Stomach out. Exhale, coming down. I want to do this. We haven't done this. Get the feet apart. We still have time. We're going to do right down the middle, flat back. As you come down, looking at the floor, there it is. I see it. It's right there. Not letting the chin come to the chest. Push up through the hands. One more time. This time we're going to go under the chair, that swan dive, rolling the shoulders toward the floor. Don't let the chin come to the chest. You're just letting that spine stay straight all the way down. It's really easy at this point to just drop the head and try to get a little more. All you want to do is drop those shoulders. So the chin doesn't come down. Shoulders get a little more of a arch across the back as you reach underneath. Hands up. Push off the thighs to bring you back up again. Don't use the lower back when you're down there. Worst thing you can do is we have the chair, hands underneath the chair, and then start to lift through the head as to come back up again. Really be aware of that. Anytime you're going to stand up, really think about that if you're down, picking something up. All right, now we're done. Up over top. Through the nose, stomach out, and exhale as you bring the arms down. That felt good. Thank you guys for being here. I appreciate it. We'll use the bands again shortly. There's so many exercises. Have yourselves a great weekend, and I will see you next week. Thank you.